Welcome to Let's Talk Luxury, the Mazars podcast series about how and why luxury brands are undergoing a business model makeover. In each episode, luxury experts discuss what's happening in the sector, from authenticity to circularity, new customer cohorts to retail experiences worth posting about. The luxury business model is changing, and in this series, we'll explore how to stay in vogue. So, let's talk luxury. Hello everyone. Today's guest is Isabelle Massa, partner and head of luxury at Mazars, who recently launched Conscious, Collaborative, Connected, a study on the new business model emerging in the luxury sector. Great to have you, Isabelle.
Hello, thank you for having me today.
It's great to have you. Could you bring us up to speed with what's happening in the luxury sector? What is driving transformation?
Yeah, the sector is changing to meet and surpass the expectation of its new customers. It's really prioritizing luxury experiences, engaging in partnerships and adopting circular practices to make its product and methods more sustainable. At the end of 2020, we have released Conscious, Collaborative and Connected, a study examining how luxury customers want not just timeless products and sophisticated long-term relationship with brands, but also seamless post-sale services, unique experiences, and even transparent supply chain. And the only way to achieve that is, of course, through technology. And all this is led totally by the new customers.
So before we get into the study and its findings, can you tell me a little bit more about those luxury customers?
Yes, of course. You have three cohorts of new customers. The first one is Gen Z. Second is wealthy Chinese customers. And third one is Henrys. They are called Henrys because they're high earners, not rich yet, which means Henrys as an acronym. The Gen Z is a 15 to 20-year-old luxury youngest cohort. They're very young. They're starting very young, like when a few generations ago, you started having your first luxury good, let's say when you were a girl, by having a pearl necklace for your 21st birthday. Which is absolutely not the case today because it's not a gift from your family, but you buy it yourself, usually online, and you start at 15. They're very attracted to products that are parts of capsule collection, that are combining luxury streetwear, and they're very into the communities where they belong with influencers. They have flat smartphones and they follow their influencers. And by the way, they make the rotation of luxury goods much rapid because they really want the new trends. So they're buying, maybe reselling, and because their influencer changed also. The second one is wealthy Chinese customer, and they are crucial to the sector. You might have seen the figures where China is today the first luxury country in the market, and with the growth, which is unbelievable. And their customer wants to research product online, but also buying them in stores. So you have sort of an hybrid way to consume. And then they a little different. They want to research product. They want to invest. So certification of authenticity is really important. And all the more as forgery is really a big issue in China. So we might come back to that aspect, but it's really crucial to take on board that vision of a counterfeit product. The third one are the Henrys, who include millennials, Gen X, and they earn more than 100,000 to 250,000 or 300,000 US dollar per year. They are big on sustainability. They tend to seek experiences as well as product, and they're being drawn to in stores event, especially when it's small and exclusive. So you have really
the community of the young ones, of the Gen Z. You have the investment social part for the customers, Chinese customers, and the exclusivity for the third block of customers. Really, this world is changing. It's really changing.
The report is conscious, collaborative, connected. Can you tell me about the connected part? What is the role of technology in the new luxury business model?
Yes, well, I've started to mention some of the parts of it, but technology underpins every luxury business. They're going to keep up with their customer. It's being used to upgrade the experience. That's the first point. If you see, for instance, the Gucci concept store in New York, they have augmented reality app to let their customer virtually customize a product and see where where it goes in the real world, how it will look. And you have that in many. You can do that online also for many brands. Technology also combats counterfeiting. I was mentioning the Chinese issue on counterfeition. Some of the brands are waving radio frequency ID tags into their goods that you cannot detect without the system, but it's still in there and it can prove authenticity. For instance, one of the luxury watchmaker, which is Ulysse Nardin, has begun to offer blockchain warranty certificate rather than the physical guarantee card. Ariani, who we've been partnering with for this study, has developed a protocol for open source blockchain-based technology that generates digital passport for product. That's very interesting because it means that from the initiation, let's say the birth of the product, up to, I don't know, its destruction, maybe in 3 or 2 centuries, let's say, if it goes through, the normal life cycle of a luxury product, the passport is going to move along with the product. And it's also a guarantee that it's not a stolen good. It's been repaired at the right time. It's been maintained at the right place, etc. Technology leads also to greater sustainability in a world like luxury, characterized with pleasure and not with necessity. People don't want to purchase a good at the expense of the environment. Second-hand retail platform like The RealReal, like Vestiaire Collective, etc., have been designed to be long-lasting. And your product, your handbag, even your grandma's handbag that you don't want anymore, can find a home if you don't need it anymore. So it's really everything is done for the long-term sustainability goods, and your technology helps you go with the new trends from step 1 of the creation of the product up till the end. That means the final customer, but also the next final customer. That means the final customer is not the ultimate one, as it was.
You mentioned sustainability and the passing down of goods through generations, but the luxury sector still seems to get a lot of criticism for not being environmentally friendly enough. How are some ways in which brands are tackling that?
Yeah, I guess the only industry that is totally environmental friendly is the industry that does not product anything. Because when you have an industry, usually, unfortunately, it harms the environment. So the luxury sector has been for quite a lot of years very conscious of that. I guess luxury sector was one of the industry that was the most conscious of it. Maybe because of this idea that it's only for pleasure. So you don't want to harm the planet for pleasure. Even for a loaf of bread, you can admit that you're not totally sustainable because you need food to eat and survive. But for a beautiful handbag, I'm not that sure. For a diamond on your ring, you're more happy if you know that it's not a blood diamond. So customers have increasingly high expectation for how brand approach sustainability, including, but not only, carbon emission, material usage, and labor practices, of course. In response, we have seen the fashion houses investing more in ensuring products that can last longer. And that includes services for repair, reuse, resell, upcycling, recycling. And many people were already using recycle styles. Years ago, I was mentioning the necklace, the pearl necklace that you had. You had it from your grandmother or from your mother, and you gave it to your daughter. So it was already, recycled goods. The only thing is now it's recycled outside the family and not totally internally to the family. So we called it eco-responsibility, where before we called it transmission and patrimony. But the younger generation demands that more and more because of the I was mentioning also before the speed of rotation of the goods and the trends. So if you want, the pearl necklace I was referring to might be a little old-fashioned today, but you want to have a ring from Pomellato or, I don't know, a scarf from Hermès, and not the one that was created by when your grandmother was a young girl, but maybe the one that was just out the season before. You create sort of that eco-responsibility, and with all the data that are available, the platforms that have been created for that, I was mentioning Vestiaire Collective or the Real, you can recycle and recycle and recycle, and that the same product can have, infinite number of owners. And that's the new way to consume luxury, actually.
And up against all of these changes and these different demands, it sounds like luxury brands can't go it alone. Are there any kinds of partnerships that luxury brands are getting into in order to stay ahead of the curve? Yeah. That's the third point of the trio of the luxury. The luxury business know that they have to form partnership with retail platform and technology to promote, to distribute, and to recycle their pieces. I guess we've been giving a few examples there. And the partnership are the most effective way for them to implement the innovation they need. But exclusivity, that has been for quite a long time the bedrock for luxury experiences. And after that, the brands have rightly begun to put their trust in others so that their products can be discovered and purchased at any age, when customers expect to find all brands and all their product easily online. So you started from, I have a store, I want a pearl necklace. Let's take my famous pearl necklace, and I'm going to buy it in a store, Place Vendôme. And this is quite an experience, very exclusive. You cannot buy it elsewhere. I'm online. I'm suing my influencer. She has a handbag I want. And by the way, the handbag is a creation with a showrunner, a collaboration with the brands. And you have this handbag, which is already a collaboration that you're going to have online because the influencer is going to have it, and you're going to buy it online or to buy it in a multiple brand platform
like Farfetch. Let's take Farfetch. Let's take Hughes. Let's take Net-a-Porter. All these people are selling goods, and you have the whole portfolio of brands in their thing. So yes, partnership is really important. They have to take it on board from the very start of the life of the product until the last part of that product also.
And before we finish, what should we expect in the near future from luxury brands?
I mean, I don't see any revolution, but I see this evolution, which is already a revolution by itself, accelerated, and the conscious, collaborative, connected trends are going to be even faster, even deeper. So we're going to go that way even more. I don't know how it's going to be run, because it's really all this partnership. It's like bubbling in all everywhere. Before, luxury was a very steady world. There were creations, but you have classical type of product, etc. This type of luxury still exists. If you want a Birkin, you can go to Hermès. They have it. But it's changing so much. I mean, sneakers in luxury, can you imagine that? I mean, 30 years before, it didn't exist. It's really changing. And sneakers that are not made of plastic, but of recycled plastic, even more. I mean, those trends are going to be accelerated, but I don't see anything else than the 3 foot for the luxury basis.
Thank you, Isabelle, partner and head of luxury at Mazars, for your time today and helping us explore how luxury companies are staying on trend for generations.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Let's Talk Luxury. To find out more about changes in the luxury sector, search Mazars, Making Over the Luxury Business Model, or follow the link in the show notes. And to keep up with this series, subscribe on your favorite podcast app or go to mazars.com.